Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This will be the first in a little series of videos about how to produce a draw request, an interim draw request in CHS if you are doing a cost plus markup job. They have various draw request options. If you click the draw requests, you will see that there are some different buttons for different types of draw requests. And if you select a job, you'll also see that there's question mark buttons about how CHS will draw costs for, let me make this go over here, for cost plus markup, cost plus builder fee, or if it's a fixed job, how you can do percent complete. Our discussion here is going to be about cost plus markup draw requests and our next little batch of videos, and then we'll do cost plus builder fees, etc. Notice that cost plus markup draw requests basically use the markup percents that are set up for each cost on a job budget worksheet. And then the draw requests are based on actual costs posted, paid, or unpaid. Usually that's an accounts payable, plus the associated markup percent from the job budget worksheet. When posting vendor bills or other job costs, the markup percent field will be available. The percent in that field will default to the percent entered on the job budget worksheet for the associated cost code, but can be changed by the user entering the cost, just in case you're wanting to draw something different. And the reason for that markup percent field when you enter bills is so that we can produce a cost plus markup. But before I get busy doing the cost plus markup, I'd like to show you a little bit about the setup for doing cost plus markup jobs. So I already have the job budget opened for this job. And what I'd like you to take a look at is how there's a column here going on showing that there's a markup percent attached for all these job budget items. And you should do that if this is a cost plus markup job, because CHS is going to look to these various cost codes when you enter bills and attach a markup percent based on the markup percent assigned to each cost code. Please watch our videos about budgets, about how you can mark up the entire budget all at once by a markup percent, etc. But if you click on something like, well, we're going to go post a bill for building permits here in just a second, and we'll see what happens there when we do that bill. And then we'll show you how it shows up on a draw request. But please watch the videos, about doing percents. The other thing you might be doing, or you should be doing for sure, after you do a budget and it's cost plus markup, is that you're going to use this button, somebody with a little higher permission, to set price and to also select what type of contract it is. You can see in our demo job, we don't have it marked as fixed. We don't have it marked as cost plus fee. We have it marked as cost plus markup. And also down here, we've told it that the entire contract actually is for doing costs plus 25% markup, which actually nets to a 20% profit margin. You can do the little question mark buttons here to understand the difference between those two. Get a little candy bar example there. But anyway, you should have this marked before you start doing your draw requests. We also had typed in a price based on our original budget to get we just typed it in even though that's a little meaningless for a cost plus markup job, because the price might be moving. As you can see over here, it's telling you it is based on our current estimated cost of completion. But you should do that part first. You should also make sure you get your markup percents attached on your job budget, because I'll show you what happens when you post a payables bill. And this is not really a video just about doing payables bills. But I'm going to play like, I'm going to do City of Austin permits. And I'm going to create a job-related bill for that. That was one of our first cost codes there on our budget. And it's checking to see if there's any alerts it needs to give me about this vendor, about whether insurance expired, etc. We actually didn't issue any POs because it was for building permits. Let's select our demo job here, and notice that we set up this vendor so that this cost code of 1010 for building permits dropped in. So since it's already there, CHS could go look to the budget after I selected the job. Because the vendor was set up with a default GL number to put everything for job cost to direct construction costs, that dropped in. Let's play like this was on 12/16 in the year 2005. It's telling me it's before my current period, but that's okay. And quite often we won't have an invoice number for a permit, so I use 6 digits for the date. And now what I can do is, because I can't remember what I really want to put in here, is I can drill down to just the ECC for this job for that cost code, and I can take a look at the original budget real quick. And we had put on here that there would be an Austin building permit and a Travis County, and the city one would be 500 and the county would be 625. So let me use 500 here. And I'm going to go ahead and submit that as an actual posted job cost, and I will continue to submit. We didn't do POs, so that's why we're getting an over POs. We didn't do any POs for this vendor. But let me go ahead and, again, continue to submit. And then let's post it as unpaid to pay later. And let's don't do the Travis County permit yet, because I just want to go show you what has happened if I go to back to the draw request menu. I put in that job, and we're going to come back and step back through this here in just a minute. But to start a new job, I selected cost plus markup, and let's say I want every cost just through 12/31/2015. Continue to the next step. And you can see that that City of Austin permits is here with a cost of 500, a markup of 25%, and the cost plus markup is 625, and that's actually what we'll be drawing in a cost plus job. So the other thing you can do is, let's say you did a budget, you started posting costs before somebody actually applied markup percents to the budget, so somehow you got some costs posted with a 0 markup percent. You can do a search, and I could look for any that might have a 0 markup percent, submit the search, and I don't find any, so I'm going to clear my search, so I'm all happy about that. But you might check that, and if for some reason this has gotten a markup percent of 0 on it and it was found in my search, I could use the pencil edit icon, and I could go ahead and change the markup percent to 25%, and then save it, which I don't need to do because it's already that. But that's just a little bit of information. And I wanted you to be aware of that part of how CHS gets the information. It's going to be only drawing on posted costs plus their markup percent for a cost plus markup. So you do want to check that stuff a little bit first. There's other ways if you go to your actual cost database. And I wanted to show you something here anyway about draws before we get started. So I'm going to go to Vista View, and I'm just going to open the actual job cost database of all posted costs to date is what it'll be for that particular job. And it gathers a few tools for us, so it takes just a moment. So you can see that one that we posted, and you can see that there's a pencil edit icon to edit that, and that if you do a search here, you can look for a 0 before you ever even went over to draw requests. Now the other thing is that what you can see on this actual cost database is that there's something called a draw number over here. And if there is a draw number of 99, that means those particular costs have not been included in a cost plus draw request yet. And I'll try to remember to come back and show you after we do our first draw request how those numbers get changed and attached to these costs. So we'll do like draw number 1, and then if you reopen this, for whatever cost we did draw, you'll see that they have a 1 attached to them, and also in your actual cost database, you can search for, I thought I had, yeah, for certain draw number costs that are included in certain draws. So hopefully that gives you just a little bit of an overview of what's happening out, in other places in CHS related to cost plus markup draws. And I'll come back in the very next video when we actually will produce a cost plus markup draw request. We'll start producing it. And thank you for watching.